Zorn Amorphous Combatant, aka ZAC, is the most underrated top laner in League of Legends. High mobility, extreme tankiness, and absurd healing. In the hands of a good player, ZAC is insane. But I'm not a good player. Not yet, anyway. So here's the plan. I have 10 ranked games to master ZAC and prove he's the most underrated top laner in the game. And believe me, this video has it all. Angry teammates, insane outplays, and moments that would just make you want to quit this game. Let's get into it. Going into the first game, I can safely say I underestimated just how unique and difficult ZAC top really is. I was laning against a Vlad, and I don't know if it was just me, but this matchup felt absolutely impossible. You'll see why. I just felt so hopeless under tower. He just attacked me for free. And I mean, I couldn't do anything about it because if I E'd, he'd just do this. Thank God for my passive. He even attempted to dive me at level 5. I think I played this pretty well, you know, flashing into my passive blobs to get some more HP. I don't know how he didn't die here though. Luckily, he felt bad for me and donated me a free kill, but this literally did nothing for me. I quickly realized I have no poke in my kit at all, and if I wanted to trade with Vlad, I just had to all in him, and I really didn't have the damage for that. Also, I felt bad for him donating me a kill earlier, so I decided to give him one back. Yeah, I just forgot about Bahami's Cinder passive. I really wanted to take something positive from this game, but I really couldn't. This was the most painful game of top laner I'd played in a while. Oh, and remember, this is ranked, so if I keep this up, my LP is gonna vanish. Game 2 was a little nicer of a matchup, since Ambessa is melee, although she does have 1 million dashes, so landing my skill shots would be hard. But honestly, I felt the laning phase started pretty well. I nearly solo killed her level 2, blowing both of her summoners. One thing I was already noticing is ZAC's healing with Grasp and his passive gives you insane sustain in lane. I could just take a silly trade, spam some abilities, and heal loads of my health. Unfortunately, I never had the damage to finish her off. I'd just get her low, but she'd just survive and recall, and in the end, her mobility proved to be a bit of a problem when she just dodged all my abilities. Luckily, I had my passive, so my jungle had time to move. My jungler's gonna move, right? Surely she won't just sit on grubs and let me die. The fight actually ended up being really close. I meant to flash her ulti, but I didn't. I flashed into some blobs for some healing, but in the end, I died. Oh, look, Vi finished Void Grubs. Brilliant. Oh, yeah, we also had a trolling Jinx. She died like once in lane and just started killing jungle camps. And after one more death, I had enough. It was an awful start to this challenge, but I knew things would improve. Thankfully, for my own sanity, we were against a less oppressive champion in all. Laning was a lot smoother. Okay, apart from that, but seriously, how did that Q miss? Comment down below and tell me how on earth that missed. Rough start, but I didn't let it ruin my mental because I knew if I didn't feed, I'd be useful later on. The laning phase was quite boring, so after I got his tower, I roamed mid on the Victor, and it made me realize just how good ZAC is at roaming. I mean, after all, he is a jungler. I flashed in front of him, ulted, and knocked him back into the team and away from his tower. Maybe slightly unnecessary, but I'm all about the plays. Later on, I dueled on in the top lane. Now, I know what you're thinking. What is he doing? He's getting destroyed. Back off. Well, I thought that too until I walked into some blobs and healed all my health back. How insane is that? ZAC is so deceiving. I was just a team fighting monster this game. Yeah, I wasn't getting any kills, but I was just up in the enemy's grill. They couldn't ignore me, but they also couldn't kill me. I just peeled my team and eventually got my first win. And don't worry, I may have only had one kill this game, but trust me, I popped off later on. For now, into game 4, where I was against a Mordekaiser, which I thought was going to be a horror show, but I ended up doing one of my best outplays ever in this game. It started with an unfortunate death after a gank, but I'd make Pantheon regret ever stepping foot in my lane later on. I managed to come back and solo kill him pretty easily too. I just cheesed level 6 and all-in'd him knowing he was level 5. If he had his ult, I'd have been cooked. A little later, I was tussling with Mord again when Pantheon flew first class into my lane. From this point, it was looking kind of sad. I forced a kill onto the Mord though, so at least I could trade 1 for 1 because surely I couldn't kill this guy, right? Yeah, I don't even know how I pulled that off. It made me realize ZAC's true potential in the top lane. What other champion could do that in the game? His blob passive is nuts if used correctly. Even my team was impressed. We killed him again, but even after my last video, I forgot how strong Mord was. He just got me in his ult and beat me down. But it didn't really matter because I caused chaos in team fights. But after getting Elder and Baron, we ran through them in one last team fight and ended the game. I was slightly scared about this next game because I was against a Nasus, and I knew I didn't have the damage to stop him stacking. But as long as I didn't feed him, we'd be good. Well, that was closer than I thought. Thank God for my passive though. The laning phase was a bit dull, similar to last game. I just kind of tried my best to stop him stacking, but oh boy, team fights were fun. Just look at how much of a pain I am to deal with. I was just bouncing around, killing people, and I felt like I was really improving with my positioning too. Landing more ease in general. It was great. We wiped them 3 team fights in a row and we won. Game 6 and 7 were interesting to say the least. This next game really does show the flaws of ZAC top. You see, I was against an Alawi and already that spells bad news. It started okay. I mean, we traded 1 for 1 after a gank from Lee Sin, but for some reason after that gank he didn't come back. I was stuck 1v1 with an Alawi in the top lane who I just really couldn't damage. If I wanted to do anything to her, I had to be right on top of her, which is exactly what Alawi wants, to deal her damage. She killed me and I missed a huge wave. I figured I couldn't lane anymore, so I just proxied to stabilize. We did pick off Evelyn at the red buff, but in the process gave Alawi yet another kill. And considering all of our kills were on tank ZAC, I knew this was going to be a rough game. Later on though, she got a bit greedy, underestimating my damage, and I managed to kill her. But really, all of this counts for nothing when you have a bot lane like this. You know this game's just over. I was against an Aurora next game, which I really thought would be an awful matchup. I mean, she has unrelenting poke, insane damage and mobility, and I'm a block. This Udyr also just wouldn't leave me alone. But it turns out there's some interesting interactions that make this lane a lot easier. I have 3 abilities that stop her using a W, completely destroying her mobility, and it ended up getting me a kill. And of course, I died to Udyr again. I mean, look, I'm under my tower and I'm being ganked. Surely I can file some sort of police report because that should be illegal. I killed Aurora again, but bar that, the game was pretty boring since our Akali just destroyed everyone and we ended. Now, I know you've been waiting for a high kill game, so here it is. I went off in this game. I was against another Alawi, but this time I had my jungler to help me through the lane. We killed her a couple times, and I even killed the Elise with this weird Q interaction. Of course, I had that one death everyone has, underestimating Alawi's damage, but other than that, I became a powerhouse this game. I just pushed my wave and then wandered into the middle of the map and picked up kill after kill. But that didn't really mean the game was easy. We struggled to get objectives and the ADC was actually really fed. Their teamfight was strong and they had a lot of CC for MF ult. At least I could 1v1 their mid laner. It was really close, but one team fight at the end decided the game. I hit an insane 3-man knockup, and with follow-up from the team, we wiped them. And from there, we just kind of ended up winning the game. You know how earlier I was scared about not being able to stop Nasus from scaling? Well, this game shows exactly what happens when you can't stop the enemy scaling. I took Conqueror because I knew I had to get aggressive in the lane and kill him before he outscaled me, because our comp really had no one who'd be able to deal with him later on. It didn't start great. I died level 3, but I did kill him later. Then I died again after forgetting to disable target champions only. I felt so strong this game. I felt like I was playing team fights well, my positioning was good, but already 20 minutes in, Cho'Gath was a huge problem. Just look at this. We killed Diana, but we just have to run away because Cho'Gath is too tanky. Even though we were massively ahead in kills, I knew this game wouldn't be easy. Don't ask me what these guys were doing. I have no clue either. From here, the game just went downhill. Even though Amumu hit an insane 5-man ultimate, we barely won the fight. And by the 45-minute mark, Cho'Gath had nearly 10,000 HP. I mean, this looked like a good fight. I caught Corki in the jungle, but my Lissandra ulted the spell-shielded Diana and died. Then the raid boss strolls in, one-shots our carries, and that's game over. Luckily, game 10 was the best game I played during this challenge. I got off to a great start, killing the Yorick with one of the best flashes you'll ever see. Yeah, I didn't think I'd have the damage to kill him, but apparently I did. I really thought this matchup would be a nightmare because of his cage, but my damage and healing was just ridiculous. I was everywhere this game too. This TP bot was perfect, and how satisfying was that double kill? I got kills in the jungle, mid lane, bot lane, and I was just unkillable. Even their fed Syndra couldn't kill me. Okay. Maybe that was a bit too deep. I had to be careful though. Their Syndra was very fed, and even though she couldn't kill me, she could definitely kill my team. I really felt like I'd improved a lot at ZAC topping these games, using my passive to all in, my insane blob healing, teamfight positioning, and also just simple things like how and when to trade in lane, which is very unique with ZAC. And if you're against a champion who has more damage or poke than you, it's really difficult to lane. But this game just shows the rewards if you play well on ZAC. Nice damage, Nocturne. Please don't kill me. Got caught in the top lane with the Nunu, and dying here would probably be game over. But when the enemy refused to build anti-heal, this is the result. Even full build Syndra couldn't burst me down. And after that, we secured Baron and Elder, ran it down mid, and ended the game. I finished with 16 kills, only 1 death, and 54k damage as a tank. If you guys play this, let me know how it goes.